Let's listen in to this video from Yahoo Finance with regards to Snaps and Pinterest announcing earnings, in which the stock fell based on the results.
Let's take a look at some of today's market movers, starting on the social media scene. Snap and Pinterest taking a dive following the latest quarter. Snap reporting a miss on revenue as it struggles amid a steep decline in advertiser spending. This as Pinterest provides a disappointing outlook for the second quarter. And we're going to talk more about this with an analyst in just a bit, but it is an interesting disconnect, Inez, that we have Amazon on the one hand, Alphabet as well, you know, some of the other bigger tech companies, Meta, saying that advertising's doing okay. And it doesn't seem to be the case for Snap in particular.
Yeah, that's right, especially because Snap had also invested in its advertising, the way it also shows advertising. So that's not expected to sort of come out in results and more positive results until later on. So that's part of why you saw the disappointment here. But as far as Pinterest is concerned, what was interesting was their monthly active users. That was up 7%. And something that I found interesting from their earnings call as well, Gen Z users are finding value in engaging with the full breadth of content, including video. So video also going to start taking a more prominent role when it comes to the discovery platform.
Yeah, I mean, I think both of these companies are, but more so Snap, as you said, is trying to do that ad transition.
Yeah.
And then when you layer the macro on top of that, that seems to be what's causing these particular challenges, right? Is that the backdrop is not great right now for it. So that really was in focus for Snap, I think, in terms of what analysts were talking about. Morgan Stanley, for example, saying the company's early in its migration to build that more of a performance advertising business, and that creates high execution risk.
Yeah, and this is something, the macro picture is something that Snap had been talking about since last year, a deteriorating basically macro backdrop. Their average revenue per user, that fell to $2.58 from $3.20 year over year. And so that's very significant because that's one of the metrics, ARPU, that analysts take great note in. So that falling also weighing on the stock as well.
Yeah, we're gonna keep talking about this with Rohit Kulkarni in just a moment to try to get to the bottom of what's going on with these two companies in the bigger ad picture.
Now, both Snap and Pinterest were pandemic darlings several years ago, but both have failed to gain traction as the economy reopened. So now, if we go to the charts, we're going to look at Pinterest, and we're going to start with the monthly chart. And we can see price fell from 90 all the way to sub 20. Now, during this run up, there was discussion of the company who was looking at buying Pinterest at the time, right? They would have been overpaying and they would be at a loss at this time, right? Now, since it bottomed back in June of last year, price was respecting this monthly uptrend line. We can see that a little bit better on the weekly. So price was suggesting that price would slowly trickle up to where the liquidity was, which was at the weekly seller zone at $37. We did have a dip and a close above the upper trend line back in early March, but then the next candle opened lower and closed higher. But this particular candle right here, this happened on Friday. This was earnings. So for now, I'm going to take that arrow. And we have to find out now where and how far price can move down. All right, so I'm going to go to the daily chart. And what's positive is that you had a gap down in price, hit a low of 22, and then closed at 23. That was probably profit taking, causing that pullback. Again, where and how low can price go? Well, if you look at current price to the left and you look down, we have this gap at $22. That also signifies a round hole psychological number. And obviously then we have this gap to the upside at 27.26. Now the yellow line represents the 200-day moving average, and as you can see, it started bottoming, basing, and then slowly rising along with price as it was respecting this monthly uptrend line. You also have all these other moving averages pointing up as well. So the question is, was this an opportunity to buy? Fundamentally, I'm going to say no. Also, from a technical standpoint, price has now closed below the 200-day moving average. And the last time that happened, that was back in November. So the chart suggests that price is going to trickle down. Look for price to close the gap at $20 in the coming weeks. Now, if we go to Pinterest, if we go to Snap, now Snap is more, both companies are in that tier 2, tier 3 group. Tier 1's being, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. But Snap is an innovative company. A lot of the features get copied by Facebook. Just that Facebook has the audience. Snap does not. So we can see on the monthly chart, price was basing since July of last year. This dotted line represents what was support. It's now resistance. And you can see that based on these wicks. We also have price recently hitting the 13 symbol moving average. So the question is, how far will Snap decline? $8 would be a short-term target based on this range, dipping below the $8 level, then pulling back based on this wick back in March of 2020, dipping to the $8 and pulling back. However, I think the best levels are going to be between $7 and $5. To me, this would be a bear trap. You have support and resistance traders looking at this $8 level. If price closes below, you can look for the support and resistance traders to sell into what I'm deeming as a monthly buyer's zone. We'll call it $5.50. All right, let's go down to the weekly chart. And I do want to see that zone a bit more. Okay. Here's the level. So you had a rally in price, some basing, and then an explosive move higher on decent volume. So this is a weekly buyer's level within a monthly buyer's level. So the weekly buyer's level is nested within the monthly buyer's level, making this an even stronger level. So price can close below this range and trickle down. Look for buyers to step in at the $6 level. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.